What the f is up, YouTube? I'm just kidding. Could you imagine? Absolutely smash that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Yeah, we're not doing that. So, as the title says, this is the board setup Q&A video. I'm actually pretty excited for this video for multiple reasons. Two reasons, multiple reasons. I love setting up boards, I love new boards, and I love all you guys, the viewers. You know, I appreciate every single one that watches a video of my shenanigans or whatever the hell I'm doing. So if you're watching me, you guys are real ones, and I appreciate you. Without further ado, let's get into the setup. So obviously we're gonna start with the board first. This will be surprising, maybe not surprising, but on this particular here time, I decided to go with the girl deck. And I'll tell you why. Because I wanted to go up a little bit. So I'm going from an 8 to an 825, and girl is one of the best options for a 14-inch wheelbase, because that's what I've been digging on lately. And these boards are flatter. It's also what I've been digging on lately. I understand you ride flatter boards, you might have to replace them a little more often, but yeah, that's what all I rode back in the day was girl and chocolate. I've been liking those thank you boards a lot, and they are flatter, and they're 14-inch wheelbase. So this is what I'm going for on this one, and I think I'll enjoy it. I'll get this here unwrapped like a savage. Throw that. Ooh. The purple looks good. And then also they give you these stickers with the boards, which is kind of nice. Maybe I'll throw that on something. I don't know. But yeah, this 825 girl deck's the G052 shape. Sean Malto. Love Sean Malto, so that's a plus. And then yeah, 31.875 long, 14-inch wheelbase, 6.8 tail, 6.875 nose. So the tail's a little bit bigger than I'm used to. Totally fine. We're gonna get her rocking on there. Get her rocking. So that will bring us actually to the first question that I got from Yes is the name. Yes 11889. So, and you asked, do you have a favorite deck brand or shape? And I would say overall consistency, my favorite deck brand over all the years have been Girl and Chocolate. Recently, thank you boards, it's right there with it in modern times. The thank you boards are, I love them. I love them. I love them a lot.
I like it a lot.
But I love these too. So I would say brands, Girl, and thank you. Shape, I don't know. I haven't paid, whatever the thank you shape is, great. I have skated these before. This shape, great, the G052. So yeah, that pretty much sums that up. And we'll get on to the next component, the rails. So these are, I think they were called Heritage rails. And let's get these out of the package here. Let me get a knife. That's not a knife. Came with the screws, a little sticker here. Damn it! Little sticker, and this is what kind of got me. It says the New Deal skateboard products. So these are like New Deal deck rails. You got these screws. I won't be needing those. Probably already know why about that, but yeah. So these deck rails, the reason I got these is because I like they're just like, I like the roundness of it, and they have 4 screw holes in them. You know, I want to try the Little Johns and stuff, but these will do pretty good. The length of them, they're about standard length. Looks like they're a little 14 and a half. So these could be a little shorter. We'll see if there's any issues. If there is, then I'll just cut the ends off of them. But yeah, so we'll get the deck rails on there, and we'll get into the second question right now while I'm putting these deck rails on. So I don't really want to go through a deck rail tutorial, but here we'll give a quick one. So I take this double-sided tape right here, and I just put it on the ends. And this is just for placement. It's just so I can stick them on and place them while I put the drywall screws in there. So that's a quick thing there. This video is probably going to be a little longer, mind you. So I don't know if you want to sit through the whole thing, but I'm going to get to all the questions. We'll just go with the next one. So what do I do for a living, and how did I get into skating? So we'll tackle the first one first. Because, you know, I ain't afraid. It's just what I do for a living. It's not who I am. Prepare yourself. So actually, for a living, I do window tinting, paint protection, and vinyl. If you're wondering why I'm Sticker Steve, is because, in simple terms, I put on stickers for a living. That's what I do. I put on stickers. Yeah, hence the name, Sticker Steve. Hey, look, there's stickers, putting those on there. And then how did I get into skateboarding? Honestly, I don't remember too much. I remember that I got my first board fairly young, and it was like an old school shape board. I believe it might have been a Veriflex or something very similar to that, but it had handlebars that you could mount to where the trucks go, and those didn't last long. And then that board didn't last long, even though at the time department store boards, you know, it wasn't terrible. I was a little kid. I was probably like 6 years old or something like that. So I skated on that, kind of as a kid would skate on skateboards. And then it went by, and then my brother was kind of into skating when he was in middle school. Maybe a little bit, yeah, probably middle school. We basically shared his skateboard. And it was a simple deck. Believe that was the name of it. So we skated that around. It broke and never got another one. And then around the age of 12, I want to say, it was probably sixth grade going into 7th grade. I just remember just getting back into it for whatever reason, I don't know. I'm pretty sure it was Tony Hawk's Pro Skater that got me back into it, because we got the demo in the mail of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, and me and my brother would just play. The only level which was available was the warehouse on the demo. Played that non-stop. Like, why don't I just try this stuff in real life? If I can remember correctly, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater got me really into skating around 12 years old. It's a little foggy, but it's got to be something like that. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get these deck rails on here, and then we'll get into the next question. So I'm going to do that real quick. Ooh, this is the best part.
Can't do that, man. It's like the other day at Belmont, you did a fakie tray down 9,
Fakie
and then
trays
you
down
locked
9.
the kid in the trunk. I shit you not.
Lock the kid in the trunk.
Fucking locked the kid in the trunk. The kid asked for a sticker. And snap.
Front salad, back salad. Okay, we'll get back to it. Okay, so for whatever reasons, we're back the next day, and so I got the deck rails on. I messed it up a little bit. The tape got whatever. It doesn't matter. It's on there, and I actually went ahead this time and I dremeled the screws just so they're all flush, because sometimes it's like 50-50. So I dremeled the screws on there, and I didn't think I'd ever want to do that, but putting these drywall screws in is the best way to put these deck rails on. They don't rattle. It's worked great. I might make a video on it. This video here, I don't think I've said it yet, this is for the viewers. This is for people who actually like me and are watching. I don't give a shit about views. This is for just you guys who ask the questions and people who might want to know. So with that nonsense being said, I will grip the board, which brings us to the next one. Grip. So I believe I got a question about grip. I'm doing Jessup. I always do Jessup. I have like a box full of Jessup. It doesn't matter to me. I mean, it kind of matters, which will get us into the next question. One of 1,000 by Rick, loyal viewer. Love you, Rick. You're the man. So he gave me like 18 questions. And Rick, I will answer all your questions, but one of your questions, grip tape. How much does it matter? To me, it don't matter at all. I'm not a grip tape snob in any way. I will try anything and I'll work with anything. I've been skating Jessup since the early 2000s. Since that's all we had was Jessup. That's all I remember is Jessup. That's what I like. I don't care. I'll try any grip tape. I've tried Shake Junt, I've tried Grizzly, I've tried Mob, and honestly, I never paid any attention to any differences between any of the grip tape. The only thing I noticed was Grizzly grip. It wanted to peel up a little bit easier. What kind of shit is that? As I'm saying, that's not a common issue. Just saying with Jessup. I heard there's like a Jessup Ultra or something like that. I would definitely be down to try that. But yeah, I'm a fucking Jessup guy. Deal with it. Jessup all the way. I don't even care about Mob or none of that shit. So yeah, grip tape on. Which, I think there's another question by old Rick on this one. Graphics, colors, or plain black? Well, you might already know the answer to this question. Maybe you didn't, because that's why you asked it. I'm a plain black guy. Every once in a while I'll put a slit in it, or, you know, I've done graphics, grip tape graphics on like cruiser decks and things like that, where I paint it, I do the graphic. But otherwise, I just go plain black and just leave it. And another thing with Jessup is when people say, oh, it doesn't have the holes in it so you can't get the air bubbles. Well, learn how to grip your board, and you won't have air bubbles. So that's all I got to say about that. Plain black all the way. I might run an indicator bolt for nose and tail. That's about it. I'm gonna try to keep this video a little shorter, but I don't think that's gonna be doable here. While we're on these line of questions from Rick, we're gonna go through. We're gonna answer favorite and why trucks, wheels, and decks. I'm gonna answer that one at the end. You already got one of those answers, Rick. So I'm gonna answer the rest of those at the end when we get all this set up. You can kind of see. Favorite all-time deck graphics. So, one that sticks out to me as I'm thinking about it, I read that question, is the Muska Silhouette. Is a awesome graphic, simple. He kept that graphic forever. I think that's cool. Graphics are coming out. Where's my razor blade? Graphics come out so frequently for skaters nowadays. They hold no weight, and that one was cool. Same with the Rising Sun graphic that he had. And then because I was a big BAM fan growing up, I would have to say you can maybe see a little bit of it up there, or I did that room tour thing. You can see it. The one where Bam's plunging his dad's head is a good one. That's one of my favorite ones. Also, old Birdhouse graphics I really liked a lot. I like the cartoony stuff. It just kind of makes me think of, you know, childhood a little bit. So yeah, those are just those are a couple. Man, I'm just trying to really think of just graphics. I was a huge fan of the first Thank You deck graphic I skated with, like the Donald Duck or whatever. Like that one was really cool. So that'd be a more modern graphic. But yeah, nothing for me beats the graphics of the late 90s, early 2000s. I like even just these simple girl graphics. So yeah, those are kind of just a few, to name a few. Next question, see if I can answer this one. Favorite overall skate brands? Oh man. Just put me on these questions, Rick. Again. Favorite overall skate brands? Girl, chocolate, obviously. S for shoes. S for shoes. Audio for shoes back in the day. Circa for shoes back in the day. Other notable mentions for board brands, I really like the Santa Cruzes I skated. Independents have a place in my heart because I skated only Independents for a very, very long time, but there's really not a ton. I tend to find skate brands I like, at least for the long term, and I rock them and I stick with them and I stay loyal. I've been a victim to the board madness as of late, the last year or two, and I'm getting under control. I've been going to counseling, seeking help for that. Might do a video on that too, actually. So yeah, those are someone. Audio was the biggest one growing up. Audio, and once I discovered Girl, when Yeah Right came out, which is, you know, it's playing over here, that changed my life. It changed my life. I remember the day. I remember watching it. I remember the day as if it was today. And those are the kind of things that stick with you. So I'm stoked I am happy and excited to ride this Girl deck. Favorite skaters? These are all questions that should be easy to answer, right? They're not. Favorite skaters? You want to go with, so we'll go with modern times, and we could call them OG. Some of them are still modern. So I'm going to go with the OG guys first. That would be Eric Costin, Mark Appleyard, Paul Rodriguez, Kenny Anderson. Oh man, there's so many. Mark Johnson, Day One Song. These guys kind of decided how I was going to skateboard in a way. So yeah, those guys had a big impact on how my skateboarding progressed, and where I grew up, which is where still I live. There was one skate park back in the day, and it was very small, and it wasn't good. And we had one. And so what I skated was a lot of schools. It was a lot of manual pads, ledges, and things like that. Some small drops. I was never big into stairs. I was never big into rails. I do like trying to skate rails sometimes, but yeah, stairs and handrails, that kind of thing, I don't skate. Some of those guys that I listed had a huge impact on the way I skated because they were technical skaters, and it related to the type of terrain that I could skate here in my hometown of Vancouver, Washington, which... yeah, there's not much. It's near Portland, but I am also not a transition skater. So Burnside was out of the picture pretty much on that one. I'm elaborating a little bit too much on these questions, kind of going off base, but I'm having fun with this video. So, favorite overall skaters. There's too many to mention. I didn't even say Andrew Reynolds or Jeff Rowley or those guys. Mike Vallely, Bam Margera, because this was before Jackass and all that stuff. But yeah, there's a ton, and for so many different reasons. You know, Tom Penny. But the girl chocolate team, they spoke to me the most because of their skating. I was like, I can go to a manual pad and I can practice this, and it doesn't take much. So as far as modern skaters, Jamie Foy, huge one. Ashad, trying to think because I love skateboarding and I like watching skateboarding. And here's a different one. Johnny Geiger. Johnny Geiger is, I think he gets a lot of flack because of the Revive thing, but I think he has respect of you want to call them core skaters. The rest of the Revive guys, you can take them or leave them, but Johnny Geiger, he's a real one. He's sick. And it seems like a super nice guy, great attitude. And the dude slays it on a skateboard. So yeah, other modern guys, Eric Winkowski, Taylor Kirby. These are just coming to my mind right now. But I still I like to watch the old guys, whether they're doing sick shit or not. It's hard. It gets hard to keep up. Ace Pelka is really sick. There's just a few. When I'm getting put on the spot like this, it's kind of tough. So yeah, and then we'll get on to the next one. So next is trucks. So we're going with the Ace. We're going with the Venture V Lights 8.25. So I wanted to step up the trucks a little bit, and I went a little bit lighter to try to compensate for the board weight and just the overall weightness of it. I tried finding the V Hollows, but I couldn't find them in a 5.6. So I want the V Lights. It was good enough. I don't like things too light, so yeah, we went with the Venture V Lights, and they look pretty sick, polished. I think they're only a millimeter smaller, so it'll be hopefully a slight adjustment. But yeah, I'm stoked on these. So we gotta attach them with something, and before we do, we'll get to another question here. Favorite tricks. You guys know I'm a flip trick guy. I like flat ground. It's what I feel like is within my boundaries these days, and always has been. But yeah, my favorite tricks on flat ground is like varial heels, obviously kick flips because I can do them. I really love heel flips, and I've been struggling. I'm trying to get better. Frontside flips, backside flips. I really like the way like a nollie nose grind looks, and a back tail, back lip, front board. A lot of these are things I can't do, but things I can look forward to doing. A front crook, back crook. A lot of the basic tricks. I just think the tricks that look good. Kickflip, back tail, switch flip, frontside tail slide, backside flip, fakie nose grind that's a sick trick. I'm thinking about it in my head right now. Nollie 5-0. Those are probably my favorite tricks. I don't know if you meant favorite tricks I can land or favorite tricks just in general, but yeah, those are quite a few of my favorite tricks. And then favorite obstacles. Manual pads, short ledges, the ground. And recently curbs can be pretty fun just because it's new. Transition, not so much. Yeah, manual, really simple stuff. Really simple stuff are probably my favorite obstacles. I do like skating my rail. I haven't done that in a little bit. I think I'm going to do that soon. Street or park? Street, of course. I don't skate parks that often because I don't know. I like to just go close, go where I can go at the time I have, and then yeah, street definitely, because it brings a whole different aspect to the skating. It's not meant to skate, so it feels nice. Best time of day to skate? Morning. I'm a morning guy. I am a morning guy. And then we'll stop with this one, and then we'll get to the hardware. Best trick advice. See, that's a tough one because I'm not any trick tip guy or anything like that. It depends on the trick. So I am one of those people because I got a buddy I skate with sometimes that I work with, and he might be trying a trick, and even if I can't do it, I feel like I can see what he's doing, give him pointers on it pretty well, and he tends to do well with my advice, so I feel like I can have good trick advice if you're in front of me. And so that being said, if you have like clips or something like that, or you're struggling with the trick, send me the clips. Send me the clips if you on like Instagram or something. I'll put my little thing up on the screen right here, and you can DM me and send me the trick, and I'll tell you what I think. Send me quite a few, like at least 10 attempts, and I'll tell you what I think is wrong, and or what you can do better, and maybe it'll help you. I would love to do that. The whole point of me doing YouTube or these YouTube videos is kind of, there's multiple things. I kind of want to build like a community. I don't really want it to get too big. I want you guys to ask questions and communicate or whatever you want to say. And I want it to be more like a, you know, our little video Discord in a way. Obviously you guys are going to know me better than I know you, but I'd like to change that. And so yeah, if anything I can ever do to help in any way, do not be afraid. Send me a link, send me something. I would love to help. That's kind of the whole point of the channel. And the other point for me is to just kind of archive stuff for my own. In a weird way, it's like if something ever happened to me, I know it's just skateboarding or whatever, but yeah, the boys can watch and they can see their dad just doing something. So, you know, maybe it should be like a lifestyle vlog, but I'm not into that shit. So yeah, that's kind of the purpose of this this channel, is community based, and that's why I respond to every comment if I see them. Sometimes YouTube doesn't tell me and I have to go back and I see I haven't responded, but yeah, I try to respond to every comment because I actually care. I care, and yeah, trying to keep it real on this thing. So we'll end with that question for right now and get to the hardware. So I got some diamond hardware, P-Rod. It's got some gold on there. So yeah, I'll slap these trucks on. Also came with a sticker. I love it when things come with stickers. And it's because I'm Sticker Steve. I don't know. But yeah, we'll get the trucks on. And then while we're going to the trucks, we will get some more questions. Favorite shoes. So I got a few. As I mentioned earlier, Audios were my favorite shoes growing up. Audio. I skated, you know, mostly Audio. And S. Probably they would second if they didn't have Audios at the shop. I'd get some S's and some Circas. So, like I said, I'll try to break this up into OG and MG, modern, MT, whatever. So yeah, Audios. Those are just, I loved them. Audios. And then current is still S, And then after the last video, after skating those Jamie Foy New Balances again, those are top. So like the S Caspian's favorite, the Jamie Foy's favorite. I still love the Excel OGs, but sometimes I try to love them more than I actually love them. So yeah, those ones right there. Things you'd like to be able to do. So things I would like to be able to do, and this is hard because I know I like to think in my brain I'm able to do anything that I want to do, but I would like to be able to skate transition. I just don't feel like my brain meshes with it at all. So I'd like to be able to skate transition. And I'd like to be able to skate more. Also something I'm working on. So yeah, those are a couple things I'd like to be able to do. Biggest skateboarding related regret. Thing you're very happy with. Those are two different ends of the spectrum there, Rick. No, biggest regret is stopping for 13, 15 years, whatever it is. That's my biggest regret. But I had a good valid reason for stopping. I was moving on. I was growing up. I had a job. I had an apartment. I couldn't afford to get hurt. So I thought I couldn't skateboard. I was stupid. I just had to skate different, but I didn't think that was possible at the time. So that would be the biggest regret. And I'm assuming, Rick, you're talking about skateboarding regret. That would be it. Because that was years lost. I can only imagine where I'd be skateboarding wise if I wouldn't have quit. But then that could be whole different part of life. And then things you're very happy with. Here's kind of the opposite answer. I'm happy that I decided to pick it back up again I had a reason. Found out the girlfriend was pregnant and I was like, I can't be no couch potato when my kid is getting older. I just can't be this lazy piece of crap. I need to get active. So I started skating again when we found out. So yeah, that's my biggest thing that I'm happy with. I'm happy I'm back on a skateboard again, and I'm happy with whatever time I can get on the skateboard. Which sometimes it's not very often. But yeah, that would be that one. Alright, favorite skate channels. Man, I don't know. Talking big time, little time. You know, I like to watch the little guys. the favorite ones, you know. Watch some good old Kevin Nice Try. Good old, you know. I do like Dan Corrigan. Here's one you might not expect. So recently, very recently, I finally I subscribed to Garrett Jenner because that guy cringed the shit out of me for years, and I feel like he's grown up a little bit. His content's a little easier to stomach, so I subscribe to him. Yeah, that would be a surprising one, and I watch it. Same with Dale Decker. That guy annoyed the shit out of me for a while. I feel like I got to know him almost a little bit and understand his personality, so I understand the videos a little bit better. And the opposite's kind of starting to happen with Dan Corrigan, where I really liked him at first, and it's a very slow burn. But the more I watch, it's not that I don't like him. I'm just getting tired of it. I don't know. I don't know. It's hard to explain. But you guys might know exactly what I'm talking about. So, yeah, those are a few of those. I probably forgot to mention something that I didn't think of on the spot. Worst skate brands. I'm going to cut it real short on this one because Cariuma, I do not like. I don't like it. I know what they're doing. I know what they're doing with their brand. And I understand what they're doing. I just don't like it. And it'd be one thing if I don't like the shoe. I don't like the look of the shoe. I don't like the logo. I don't like that all they're doing is putting influencers on their brand and, like, I hate to say it, but you might understand, Instagram skaters, which is an influencer. It kind of sucks. I gotta admit, it was a little disappointing when I saw Luan Oliveira go to Cariuma. I heard they pay good. And then Bastian Salabonzi, I believe. That was kick in the butthole. But hey, people gotta make their living. I understand. Them as a brand, don't care for them. Would never buy a Cariuma shoe. Ever. Ever. And that's probably the only brand that I dislike, like actual have an opinion about. So I feel like every brand has their spot in skateboarding. And I don't like some trends that happen in skateboarding. But Cariuma's yeah. Nope. Okay, well that's my Cariuma rant. The bearings next, and some more questions. I believe that was all your questions, Rick. A few of them I answered a little early on accident, but hey. Alright, let's get into another question. Top 5 favorite skaters. Man, it's so hard to say that because, you know, you put one in, you leave one out. That's what they say, right? But I gotta say, P-Rod, Eric Costin. I'm just gonna say Bam Margera because he just was. He just was. I don't agree with what he's doing these days. I'm thinking of OG Bam. Thinking of Bam the way I want to remember Bam. And then, man, there's 2 left because I'm thinking there's so many names. Top 5. I'll throw a modern one in there. Jamie Foy. Jamie Foy has to be in there. Guy Mariano. That's 5. Honorable mentions would be Ashad. Antoine Dixon. We're just going to leave it at that. What bucket list tricks do you have that you need to get before you give up? Well, give up, I'll use that loosely. Uncapable. Before I'm incapable, because at this point, I'm going to try to never give up. I'm going to try to never quit. You never quit becoming a skateboarder. That's one thing I believe. I was a skateboarder the whole time I wasn't skateboarding. I was still a skateboarder. I still wore skate shoes. I was still a skater. Once you're a skater, you're never not a skater. I firmly believe that. But a bucket trick, I want to get a kickflip crook, backside, and then I would like to get a kickflip, even just a kickflip no slide, and those kind of can fall into the same realm. And then I would like to get a backside flip, fakie nose grind, I guess it'd be called. And then also kickflip nose manual, and I want switch and nollie heels and heels. So bucket list tricks would be the straight 8 and then every 180 variation of that. So that's a far stretch, but I don't think it's out of the realm. I think I'm capable, and I think I'll be capable for a while. So yeah, there goes those ones. Hopefully that'll satisfy that. Get to the wheels. I'll show the wheels. and then another question. So, for the wheels, you guys, you know the board madness is a real thing. I've been staying pretty decent on the board madness, consistent to what I've been skating this whole year. So I'm feeling proud of that. So in that theme, I'm sticking with the Bones X Formula 97s. I've been skating these for shit, I don't know, 6 months or something. I think I need to do a follow-up review video on that, just because I love these wheels. I love these wheels, and I wanted to skate them again. I wanted a fresh set, so I went with the wheels. So we're gonna put those on there. 52 millimeter. These are great. These are great. Over the Dragon wheels, I'd take these. Dragon wheels are still good. I would still pick these over the Dragon wheels. Enough on those. Review video coming soon, maybe. Again, follow-up review. So we got the wheels. All right, let's get into another question. Old Fat Dad Skates Bad. He asked me, what is your favorite skate trick you have learned and why? So I'm gonna go same thing. You can go modern, old. Look at the sticker. Modern, old. So in the last couple of years, my favorite trick I've learned was backside crooked grinds. And the reason for that is because when you get into a backside crooked grind, correctly, you are locked in. And hopefully I got the clip, because I'm going to show the first one I did right here. And some people may not believe that this is the first one because I did the whole box, but I just feel more comfortable. I don't feel like I can do like 2 or 3. I was like, go, send it. So backside crooked grinds are an insanely good feeling trick. Besides that, I would say varial heels when I can land a good one. That feels great. Heel flips feels great. Back in the day, I had kickflip manuals down like almost every try. That's a great feeling trick. And then front boards are a great feeling trick. Nollie lip slides are a great feeling trick. But I gotta go with the crooked grind. The crooked grind just feels so good. Nose manuals feel really good too. So yeah, that's a lot. But if I had to pick one so far, crooked grind. And then your next question, this is a good one. No, this is a good one, dude. Why don't you ever skate transition? Do you plan on skating transition more? I know this is not how you asked it. And then, yes, I don't skate transition because it's not as readily available as a curb or the flat ground. That's why I skate a lot of flat ground, I guess, is because I can do it anywhere, and I love doing it. So that's why I don't ever skate transition, because I don't have any. I got a little quarter pipe at home, but transition feels so foreign to me, and it scares me more than trying any flat ground trick, even if it's a 2-foot quarter pipe. And then on the second part, do I plan on skating transition more? Yeah, I kind of do. It's on the back burner, but I definitely do. I want to do it more. I just have to go to a skate park for it. But I mean, I can do a few basic transition tricks, but yeah, I don't really concentrate on it. But it is something, yes, I would really like to do. And I will. I think it's going to happen. It's just a matter of time. But yeah, that's a really good question, man. I appreciate all these questions. Do you believe in aliens? Abso-fucking-lutely I do. Why not? I think it's naive to think there's nothing else out there other than us. So yeah, I believe in aliens. What's your achievable dream trick you think you could get someday? Kickflip crook. I think it's achievable. I think I can get it. I just got to work at it, and that's it. But yeah, I think that's it. That's also a dream trick, bucket list trick, and yeah, I think I can do it. Let me know if you don't think I can do it, guys, but I think I can do it. So we're going to get to the last component here, and then the last questions. You got wheels, right? Well, you need bearings. Long-time watchers of the channel are going to know what these bearings are. Bronson Raws! Yeah, Bronson Raws. They're my favorite. They're the best. I won't fight you on that, but they are the best, yeah. So that's what we're doing. We're doing Bronson Raws. We're going to put those in there. So yeah, we got the Bronson Raws and the Bones X Formula wheels. So that'll complete this setup, but it does not complete the questions. So let's get to the next question while I put these wheels on. Who's your favorite big time skateboard YouTuber you like to watch and why? Well, also another hard one. Just because, oh man, just like a single person. I mean, I like watching a lot of YouTube team channels and things like that, but the single person, I guess the most that I watch of is like Dan Corrigan would be Big Time. It's hard to stomach the Braille guys anymore. It's gotta be Dan Corrigan, I guess, is Big Time. But the Big Time guys, I mean, they're big time, you know? So, old Dan the man. And the reason why I would say Dan is because the guy, he gets to skate every day. He gets to be around all these great skaters. He's in California. They have all the best skate spots, and every once in a while he throws some valuable information in there with the frontside flip video. To me, that was valuable information, so I like that those little things are put in there. So yeah, Dan Corrigan. I think we got, last but not least, the real Dean D. How on earth do you find so much time to skate and make content while having young kids? Well, I can't skate nearly as much as I'd like to. And not every session, but most sessions end up being a video out of it. My videos have changed just because I'm not trying to come up with a theme or a reason to make a video. I'm just skating, and sometimes I don't pull out the camera, and then while I'm skating, I'll pull out the camera if I feel like something's developing. So as far as time, it's literally like, man, and this is what I want to change, is it's once a week, and unless it's raining, and then that changes it drastically. So actual skating is kind of hard to come by. But yeah, I try to skate at least once a week, and that's about not even close to as much as I want to. But I'm trying to change that. So yeah, it's double-ended for me. I find time to skate. I don't have that much time to skate. So I find it when I can find it. And that's about it. Yeah. Worst skating-related injury that I've gotten. So this is back, and I remember this one pretty vividly too. Luckily, I've never broken any bones skating, but I did get close, and it was just on something stupid like happens to most people. And I remember the day, I remember what shoes I was wearing. I was wearing Brian Sumner all black Audios, and I was just trying to kickflip the 3-stair at a school that's not too far from here. And this is the first injury that comes to mind, I guess. But yeah, I was trying to kickflip this 3-stair. No big deal. I'd done it before, but I slipped out and my ankle folded over, and should have been broken. My mom says it's because I drank so much milk as a kid that I just had strong bones, because we did have it on video, and it looks like the side of my ankle touched the side of like my leg, and it should have just snapped in half. And I obviously did get hurt. I couldn't walk for a little while. I didn't go to the hospital or anything like that. So I could walk, but I couldn't put weight on my leg. And yeah, that was the worst. And hopefully that'll never happen again, because it looked like in the video that my ankle just snapped in half, but it didn't. I had to ride my bike home, and I can only pedal with one foot, so that was fun. But yeah, it was only a few mile ride home, so it wasn't too bad. But yeah, it sucked. That's when I started skating switch a lot, I think, is because I couldn't pop, because it was my left foot. So that's when I started skating switch, popping off my, right foot, which would be switch. I didn't learn flip tricks, but I could switch ollie, and that's kind of developed that, so my ankle felt better. I was like, yep, switch flip, switch everything, and switch skating. So yeah, that would be the worst skate-related injury. And then I like this question. I like this question a lot. Pick a company that would pro-sponsor him. Who would I choose? And I'm gonna do this is also past and present. If these companies were still around, if I could skate overall, my whole skating, I would choose to skate for Girl. If they would sponsor Girl boards or chocolate, it would be fine either way, because they just been too much consistency in my skateboarding life. And shoes, it would have been Audio. It would have been Audio shoes with S as a second option. and Circa as a third option. That's old times. And this is, you know, obviously who pays more, and that's just brands you like. So it'd be Girl Skateboards, S Shoes. I probably would have picked Independent Trucks. That's changing a little bit. Obviously, if I was thinking now, it'd be Ventures. It'd be basically like, oh, I'd love to be sponsored by this right here. So yeah, if I could go pro for them, or even be Float or anything, like, yeah, those would be the brands. Audio's not around, so hey, if S is out there and they want to send me some shoes, send them over. Send them over, because I want to skate them. Same with Girl Chocolate. Send them over. Thank you. Thank you, boards. You guys got a little team. Hey, send me some boards. That'd be sick. I will skate them. I've already skated. I'm on number 3 this year. So, yeah. And then this, I'm going to go with the last questions because they're kind of all the same questions. And that'd be like, if you had one setup, what's your must-have? Favorite setup? Best setup you've ever had? Hey! Knock it off! So that's gonna all so the favorite setup I've ever had, I'm gonna go with the one I'm skating currently, which is the Thank You Deck, Venture Trucks, Bones, X Formula 52mm wheels, and Bronson Raws. And this is a very similar setup right here. So I'm hoping that this setup will be my favorite setup that I've ever skated. And this was on total accident, but if you look, we got a theme going, and it looks pretty sick. So we got, you know, we got the purple and gold, so it's kind of like Lakers colors. I used to like the Lakers, but right now I'm not too fond of them. So whatever, Lakers colors. We got gold and gold and gold on the wheels, gold nuts, gold that. We got purple bushings, which I might swap out for harder bushings. We'll see about that. And yeah, so kind of all the purple and golds going together on accident. Total accident. I did not plan that, but it's mission. I'm psyched to skate this board. I'm not going to skate it anytime soon, probably. I'm going to finish off that Thank You Deck. But we'll see that. This is why. Bronson Raws, guys. That's why. That's why. That's why I love Bronson Raws. But on that note, yeah, there's the complete. There she is. Let's get all these spinning. And I'm excited to skate this board. I thank you guys for all your questions. I thank you for all your views, for taking time out of your guys' day to watch me do shit. I really appreciate it, guys. And on that note, I think this video's done. It's gonna be a little long, and yeah. Until the next one, guys. Peace.